Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to be giving you my full review of WWE's Money in the Bank. I'm sorry I'm filming this way too late. There was some things that are out of my control that needed my attention. So here I am, about 6 o'clock, almost dinner time, with this. So, I'm going to preface this by saying there are two full Money in the Bank matches. I'm not going to go through step by step the spots. I'll highlight a couple of them. But otherwise, I'm just going to tell you the winner overall. And then there's a couple matches in there that were entertaining too. So, we're going to start off the night with the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So, if you guys don't know, Money in the Bank pretty much is, you got a briefcase. Inside the briefcase is a contract where you can cash it in anytime, any place for a title shot. Our participants for the women, you got Julia, Stardom, either Stardom or TJPW veteran. Roxanne Perez, the former Roxy. Stephanie Vaquer, the last to qualify from CMLL. Alexa Bliss making her return, which, great to see her back in business. Rhea Ripley, the former Women's World Champion, and Naomi. So definitely a very diverse cast of characters. You got the old school, you got the new, you got the current school, and then you got the new up-and-coming groups. And actually, they had a Royal Rumble style face-off. Just as the match starts, which that was honestly pretty fun. Did that in the Royal Rumble in 2019, I believe. Maybe it was earlier than that, now that I think about it. Anyway, we see some crazy spots, including a curb stomp into a ladder. Got plenty of moonsaults. At one point, we see, I think it was Julia and Roxanne Perez bury Rhea Ripley under a pile of ladders ringside, which that was crazy. Eventually, Roxanne gets knocked out of the ring, and then Rhea Ripley breaks through like she's a dang kaiju. Kind of near the end, Rhea hits Riptide on Julia. Alexa Bliss hits the Abigail DDT on, I'm going to say, Perez. Both go up. They bat around the Money in the Bank case for a little bit. But Naomi pushes the ladder over, sets the ladder back up, goes up, grabs the briefcase, unhooks the mechanism to win the match. And honestly, I'll admit that it was a pretty basic Money in the Bank ladder match. But I'm going to say this, I enjoyed that match more than I probably should have. And I liked the winner more than anything else. Now, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have been mad at any of these women winning the case. But Naomi is definitely a special case. Because she, left the company, was a big draw for TNA, which is insane sounding. She comes back, she kind of has her tag team reign with Bianca Belair as a replacement, which that was weird. And now we got this story with her. She's got Money in the Bank now, which I think elevates her more than I thought she would. And, yeah, to all those people, oh, it should have been Julia, it should have been Fat Girl, it should have been Roxanne. I would have been happy with any of these women. But I think Naomi right now, I think she really deserves it. Anyway, so then we see a gaggle of AAA superstars sitting ringside. So it's El Hijo del Vikingo, El Hijo Dr. Wagner Jr., it's not Aerostar, Mr. Iguana is sitting ringside. Now, they all just participated in Worlds Collide earlier in the evening. And, yeah, we saw the setup to what is coming in our next match. I'll get into that in a minute. First, we got a Gunther versus Jey Uso highlight, hyping up their match from Raw, which I will review. Don't you worry about that. But first, we got the Intercontinental title on the line, where Dominic Mysterio defends against AAA superstar Octagon Jr. Now, the setup for this is that Octagon participated in a 6-man tag at Worlds Collide, where he actually got the deciding fall. And then who's sitting ringside? It's Dom. They share some words. And then they just start brawling. Then Dom challenges Octagon for the title for this match. And I'm going to say this. They gave Octagon Jr. a whole lot more than I thought he would. But this was definitely I'm going to probably get some hate. It definitely felt like Diet Lucha. Like, you look at AAA before WWE bought it. You look at CMLL. That's pure Lucha. This definitely had some Lucha things going for it. But ultimately, it's WWE branded Lucha. Definitely some good flips. Some kind of mid-speed things. They definitely didn't go as hard as I would liked, but eventually, after a big neck breaker, Liv Morgan gets up on the apron, distracts Octagon, Dom with a dropkick, a 619, and a frog splash to win and retain. Now, to me, I felt like this could have been like a Raw match somewhere. But I'm definitely was entertained by what Octagon brought to the table. And honestly, Dom is getting better every day. Then we get this very weird segment. We have American Made. They're standing in some weird hallway somewhere in the arena. And they're standing in front of a ladder. But it's not any ladder. It is the Fireball ladder. That is you guessed it, a branded ladder. So Fireball is whiskey. It's a drink. An adult beverage. And they paid for a ladder, which, I don't know, it's nothing. Anyway, so Gable pretty much says this is the ticket to El Grande Americano's success. We then get a nice little Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria hype video, which honestly, this has been a really, really good feud between these two. And maybe we'll see a big stipulation match a little later on in the year. But first, we get the Women's Intercontinental title on the line as Lyra Valkyria defends against Becky Lynch. And Lyra pretty much jumps the Becky Lynch right at the bell. They have a nice little back and forth with Becky trying to be a little bit more controlling, while Lyra is trying to go for her high-flying stuff. they countered their finishers more than a couple of times, which is absolutely nutso. Eventually, Becky goes for the manhandle slam. That gets blocked by Lyra, who hits her with a roll-up. But then Becky rolls it through for a surprise victory for Becky Lynch. So, honestly, I thought that was a basic call. I had a feeling Becky was going to win this match. I was kind of hoping it'd be a little bit more stamp, but I do believe that there is room for another match between these two. Because post-match, you see Lyra, she's pissed. She is mad at what just happened. So Becky's calling her over, raise my hand up. She does, a little aggressively, but it's what happens. Then Lyra's about to leave. Becky's like, oh, where are you going? Why don't you put this around my waist? So Lyra's still kind of trying to leave. Becky talks her into it. So Lyra wraps the title around Becky Lynch's waist, snaps it, and then immediately hits her with a big suplex, and then the Nightwing. So, yeah, this is going to be a continued feud, at least into SummerSlam. Because, honestly, I think they definitely deserve more screen time. Because this is the best story WWE is telling right now. No offense to the others, but this is what I'm tuning in for. We then get a hype video for Night of Champions, which is going to be in Saudi Arabia, and feature the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, which I am hyped for. So I have here in my notes something about a star showcase. I guess we're going to see some other superstars from other promotions come in and have some time. I'm not sure what that was all about. Then we get a by the numbers Money in the Bank style hype video. Going through the history of Money in the Bank, including its first winner, which was Edge. So then we go into our next matchup. It's the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And we got LA Knight, taking on Penta, taking on Andrade, taking on Solo Sikoa, taking on El Grande Americano, Chad Gable in a mask, taking on Seth Rollins. And to start, the other competitors are surrounding Seth. They are sick and tired of his games, and they just start beating him down. Nutso. Eventually, they do go into their single, one-on-one solo matches. Everybody tries to grab it early on. Eventually, Grande does get the fireball ladder. Sets it up. He immediately goes up, but Penta and Andrade stop him. Penta and Andrade, they can go up, and they just start beating each other down. Grande with ladder shots, which that was crazy. Then they set up the ladder bridges, in which we have the ladder in the middle, and then the two connecting bridges. Penta with a destroyer onto the ladder. And then, I think it was Andrade hitting a... I don't think it was a destroyer. It was something else on the ladder, which... Ouch. Eventually, Penta does block Americano. Americano then loads up the metal plate into his mask. Andrade tries for a suplex, but Americano with a diving headbutt. Then we see Seth on the outside. He's like, bring him! Bring him! Out comes Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Breaker hitting a huge spear on El Grande Americano. Bronson Reed with a power bomb on Penta. That was crazy. And then Braun with a spear on someone else. I forget who it is. And then Braun with a big old tsunami on Penta. But then this leads to Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo coming out. And they just brawl with Seth Rollins' guys. They kind of take each other out for a while. Then all that's left standing is Jacob Fatu and Solo. Solo sets up the ladder. He starts to go up. He starts to climb. Then Jacob grabs him by the foot. Solo looks down and says, "What are you doing? I got this." Jacob looks up at him, says, "I hate you, Solo." Brings him down off the ladder, hits a super kick, hits a moonsault on him, and then just for good measure, gets him out to the apron. There's a ladder bridge connecting the ring to the barricade. It's a big old Uranagi on him. And honestly, I saw a replay of that not long ago, and that looked rougher than I thought it was. Because that just looked rough. And then Jacob just walks out. So, Jacob Fatu face turn. Very interesting. So Seth gets up. He brings in a new ladder. Sets it up. He goes up. Knight initially stops him. He hits the BFT on the ground. He goes up again. He's inches from the case. Seth brings him back down. Knight goes for the BFT, but that gets blocked. Seth tosses him into the standing ladder. Seth with a big stomp. Seth resets up the ladder. He goes up, grabs the case, unhooks the mechanism. So your winner is Seth freaking Rollins. So I'm definitely happy about it because narratively it does make sense. I know there's a couple of LA Knight fans out there who are a little mad. I believe he's going to get his time in the sun. So then we get a little Raw card rundown in which we get revealed that Nikki Bella is going to be on the show. Which, alright, I'm definitely in for that. I honestly thought she was there to sell something. Small spoiler alert for Raw. Then we get a John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso hype video. Because that's our main event. Is we got Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso who are wearing matching gear and it looks awesome. Taking on Logan Paul and John Cena who are not. And this match, I don't know, it was fine. I'm going to say this. Cody and Logan Paul definitely have some great chemistry. Logan and Jay are definitely working on their chemistry, and it's showing. There is something about Cena right now. And I know, he was never the best wrestler, but we all know he could go. This was awkward for him, to put it lightly. Like, he did have some good segments. Hit the slow motion 5 moves of doom. eventually. It did look, I guess I kind of missed this, but apparently Cody and Jay hit the 1D. Cody with the big crossroads. Logan Paul with a big splash to Cena. Jey Uso with a spear. Everybody's down. They fight back up. John Cena tries for an AA. That gets blocked by Jay. Hits a big super kick. Cody Rhodes with the bionic elbow. Shout out to his daddy. But Cena blocks the elbow. Hits a low blow with the ref distracted. Logan Paul with the pulverizer. He attempts to hit a superplex. But then we see from a drone's point of view, which is in Logan Paul's hand, Cody Rhodes hits him with a superplex. That was honestly pretty cool. Kind of near the end, Cena sets up the announce table, puts Jey Uso onto it, goes for the AA, but that gets blocked into a big spear. Cody then gets Cena back in the ring. Jey Uso is just laid out currently. So Logan Paul hits a moonsault through the announce table. The referee almost immediately goes out of the ring and checks on Logan Paul and Jey Uso, in which it looks like Logan Paul got his bell rung pretty good. So Cena gets the WWE title, hits Cody Rhodes with it, and then you kind of just see him stand around for a second. I don't know if a cue was missed, but then we get a hooded, masked superstar come out, hits a takedown and some brutal looking strikes to Cena. He then looks over, picks up the WWE title, takes off the hood, takes off the mask. It's R-Truth. And the crowd goes wild. Now, the reason the crowd went wild is because not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, Truth himself on Twitter, and yes, I'm going to keep calling it Twitter, revealed he would not be renewing his WWE contract, basically making him a free agent. So, I guess WWE heard the backlash from his fans, so they brought him back. Now, I thought Truth left with the WWE title. I guess I was wrong. I think he should have done that. I think that would have been awesome. And Cody gets up, gets Cena up, hits one more crossroads for the win for him and Jey Uso. Then we get the nice little credits. Then we get the start of the after show. And this is where, Cody and Jey Uso had their rah-rah promo, with Jay hyping up his match for Monday. And they stayed on Jay for a minute. Too long. But then they just went to the post-show, which I don't really watch post-shows. So, honestly, I thought, maybe Seth was cashing in. Maybe we see something with Gunther. I don't know. But, yeah, honestly, it was entertaining. Money in the Bank. Definitely not their best show. Wrestling was really, really good. Definitely some interesting character moments. Screw having, ads on ladders, which that just seems very weird. And, yeah, a great big surprise return. Overall, definitely give it a thumbs up. If there's one match I could suggest for you guys to go watch, I think it's going to be the Women's Intercontinental title match. I think Lyra and Becky have some of the greatest chemistry you could think of. The ladder matches themselves weren't bad, but I'd say they were unmemorable. So, yeah, that's going to do it for me for today. Little update. My video Friday is going to be a little smaller. It is just going to be Raw and then Power I'm going to be covering. Because tomorrow I'm going to see the New York Metropolitans play. Let's go Mets. So I will be missing AEW Summer Spectacular, whatever they're calling this special. Then Monday I'll cover SmackDown. I think there's a Saturday night's main event coming, but I'm not 100% sure. So, yeah, that'll do it from me. Hope you all enjoyed. Till next time, happy wrestling, everybody.